In UCLA, we have head coach John Savage along with Ryan Kreidler and Chase Strumpf. Coach Savage, your thoughts on this evening's game?
Well, first off, I'd like to congratulate Loyola. Loyola, made a hell of a run. Thought Gilly did a great job with that team, the whole coaching staff. Come back and win that tournament in the West Coast Conference was a tough, that was a tough league this season. And they certainly played very well here in the regional. Our team, it's been resilient all season. It's been a good team, clearly, week in and week out. Been a very consistent team. So we're very happy to come back out of the losers bracket. Not an easy thing to do these days, to win 2 games yesterday and win 1 game today. So very proud of our guys, proud of our entire program, coaches, managers, players. Just a lot of dedication, and certainly the first step in the postseason. But it was a hard-fought series, and I thought we deserved to come out of it and move on to the next round.
John, you've had some really good teams in your time here. I'm curious what, in your mind, sort of sets this group apart from the others?
Well, it's a good question. I think depth. I think depth really is the key to this team. No Mitchell today. Petway went down. Idens went down. Nastrini went down. And the schedule didn't feel it. Usually it feels it when guys go out. And offensively, we're mature. We're older a little bit. So I think just a combination of pitching and defense and offense really makes this team a special team.
Chase, your 3-run homer, I believe, came on an 0-1 pitch. What were you looking for at that time? And it looks like you got what you were thinking about.
Yeah, I kind of just went into the at-bat looking for something elevated. Runners in scoring position, I believe it's 2 outs. So I figured I wasn't going to get a great pitch to hit. First pitch that went by was kind of a changeup, elevated. So I kind of just recommitted to my approach next pitch, and he threw another changeup that pitch, and it was elevated enough to allow me to get a good swing off. But I was just trying to do a job. It was 2 outs, 2 out RBIs of daggers, and so I know it was a big moment. So luckily I got this one.
And Chase, I'm sure you know at this point, but you've been drafted by the Cubs. What kind of went through your mind when that happened, and did you know you were drafted when you were going up for that 3-run homer?
No, I was not. I was told that it happened right before the at-bat. My dad maybe should not have came into the dugout right after and said that, but he did tell me. But in the moment, I was just kind of caught up in the game, caught up in the home run, and it was a really exciting game. It was obviously a big home run for the moment. So obviously I'm honored to be picked by them, but as well as we have more priorities here. Still have a job to do here, and that's where my mind is at the moment.
John, I think you guys are the first top national seed since Florida State in 03 to lose one of the first 2 games and still make it out of a regional, which, you guys were in this situation 4 years ago and it didn't happen.
Yeah.
What's the difference between maybe that team and this one?
Well, I think depth. Like I said, I think we just have more players on the roster. Left-handed, right-handed, bullpen strength. I thought our bullpen was exceptional. We threw a bullpen. We started the game today with really a bullpen guy. Townsend picked us up. Garcia obviously came out and did a really good job. Who's normally clearly our Friday guy, but really good leadership on this team. We have 3 really tremendous captains, and Jake Priest and Kyle Mora, and of course Ryan Kreidler. Just a bunch of guys that have really fought hard in our program and been to 3 regionals now as juniors, and finally knocked the door down, in the regional. And so 15 was hard to take. Very difficult regional with Minnesota, Ole Miss, Bakersfield, and then this one was a tough one as well. So It's hard to say right now because the season's not over with, so I don't like comparing teams right now. But just to answer your question, I think it's overall team depth.
Ryan, as you guys have talked about, you guys had your backs against the wall for these last couple of days. Given that you overcame that, is there a sense just as you move on that this team can sort of overcome anything? Is there sort of confidence that's built through that?
Yeah, I mean, we've actually had our backs against the wall a few times this year. One of the first, our first road series at Georgia Tech, and we lose Friday night on a walk-off homer. Then we come back and win Saturday and Sunday. So I think that resiliency is kind of, like Coach said, kind of been a theme of our team this year. And of course, kind of coming out of the losers bracket here is huge for us. Shows that we can win in a tournament setting, and it shows us that our team's not done yet. We got a lot more work to do. So we're just excited to get back out there next weekend and play the Supers with Jackie.
Ryan, one more for you. As a position player on this team, knowing that when you're going into a game that's probably going to be the proverbial bullpen game, how much confidence do you have in this pitching staff?
Tons. Yeah, tons. I mean, the way those guys work, the coach and in their weight room work and their mental game work. You see a guy like Nick Mastrini come back yesterday with one of the most impressive performances I've seen, regardless of age, in college baseball. The guy's out 100 days almost, and he comes back and throws a gem when we needed it. So you see guys like that, and you see the way those guys work and that staff, that connection they have. It makes it easy on us as position players to go out there and have a lot of trust with them. So, we're lucky to have a great pitching coach, but also a staff that gets it with some veteran leadership in there too.
Hey, John, you might have covered this the other night, but what was your message to the team after you lost the first game to LMU? And what was the message going into yesterday and today? Was there anything that you had to say to your team?
Well, just make sure you get external. We talked about being competitive. We're talking about a positive mindset. We talked about staying together. Just your pretty much common themes that we had all season long, but we were up against it. Saturday was a really tough loss, but Loyola played well all weekend. They were a legitimate postseason team, and they're pitching and offensively they're tough. So it was more just stay together. We have enough to come back in this thing. We've been down before, like Ryan said. We lost our fair share of Fridays, and we didn't lose a series. So it just goes to show you that this team certainly never gives up.
Last question.
So this is for Chase. So you said your dad told you right after your at-bat that you got drafted?
Yeah, I was actually coming into the dugout with all the guys, and he decided to take upon the moment and shout at me that I got drafted by the Cubs. So shout out to my dad for kind of ruining a moment with my team, but it was exciting.
How difficult was it for you to just kind of not think about the draft when this game's going on? And looking back, I don't know if there are any guys in history who have homered right when they've been selected in the draft. Is that something that you'll just remember forever?
I think I'll remember the game itself more. I think, looking back at freshman year, sophomore year, and this year, like we've said, we struggled getting out of a regional. And I think winning this game is huge. And this game was very exciting. A lot of emotions were very high. So I think, not so much the draft, I think I'll remember the game more so. And then whatever happens after that, it's good. But